and I say proving no innocency. Now utina baby traileted them attorney general, ubisa attorney general, and so ubisa say I obey fair trial between them. Can you set it? I am asking NPP people. I am asking them. Can you set their differences? No, you can't. Of course, you have a dispute in your family. You want to leave that dispute and go to settle somebody's dispute. This is common sense. Emo bibia akwaba ene eye Sunday. Emo bibia happy Sunday. Abusuya egusua eka MPP for say 8 good years ena ombetena ban mu. Omontimi anye ade single thing cry be ma Ghana for eni age. Ene ya Ghana for ati omu take it amomo no. Ade ba akopɔ mbetimi aya ne so beka oman bu atum na MDC for ebu oman no. Ye na yehu kwan a NDC eni ye papa John Dramani Mahama osibu Ghana man. Na ohwe the way papa ni si abre, the kind of humility, any accountability with honesty, you can attest to that fact. Say NDC for the mean business. Yako kuti kwa Bobbie Ansah oni na pamfo. Corruption cases are ekoso, and the one yebetimi aka ho asem. Kino Furata ni extradition as you see wakudi US ICE immigration and customs enforcement what you say okakudi omunsem kwanya Ghana ban ebefa so etimi agye no ababi pim ewo Ghana empo kwanya sebia burusi benyado owura no ebe have any way so baby pim wo Ghana no face prosecution be konne okakuti sanse mesro so do nse comment betum now I like it me wa share but remember say Bobbie Ansah ene ne pamfo so AD enkomo edfa MPP corruption cases any NDC how things will be done in the next near future akaka krabi na aban we ekone wie yo because we are already in 2026 less than 2 years per Attorney General any a year special prosecutor omudumadi no sample ena mu faso esiaye no yenkoi na yenkuti ese nibi yakoba ebeto aso ede amanya menka ho na onhira papa
and I am so was some because now who follow your eba so which means maybe there was some few things be you ran sasare ebe kasa unia Martin Pebu by what unia so was studio or no or stating the point I want near money be back why this shas here baby and my dream kissing this shas you know where many ran sasare didn't come on because the argument they say even this morning, I know doing come on phone. It was sad way home. And I say, na prosecutors, state prosecutors no come home because they give the emphasis big men for no so afesikano. They give them loopholes. Inti asem no krano, so tighten ye. No de kono sheda be home. In the time be no be say accuse no ewo lean way. No appeal na asem no mo twe no appeal na asem ti dabia no prosecutor no sheda be ho na kokoro de ka akokọ ne mobile phone for no ono no oni obia ye ne de omo tighten yi na judge de o de be kono ye ne no oyo nti omo de koya 10 years 15 years and I think na lawyer people somehow disagree and also raising issues then lawyer from our baba say how the judicial system, he thinks that they should have started, overhauling the judicial system, the police system. You set up a unit, a special unit to do investigation and all that. Me sure say now will follow. Maybe be a answer and lawyer besia to us in conversation.
Yeah.
And to allow you maybe I won't see any of those things. And maybe if you had some adapts, you can do it.
Yeah, Bobbie, largely Oliver Namitini yepa. Menene ya dwene wo and 70 be your kind. Or the asthma court now say contempt. Then contempt. And yadia when he in some situations, judge and ninja, prosecutor ninja, wow, yeah, accused persons were ninja. What do I say? But, sir, also because, say, and prosecutor was shedda. Sir, statement no. A bit my best say yes sir. but ebi so nyɛ saa yɛ kano generally saa deɛ a na akɔyɛ sɛ o saa na prosecutor bi ayɛ which me ne saa adwene no me ma adwene ne saa adwene ne mfa you see court ayɛ kɔ yi judge wɔ hɔ prosecution wɔ hɔ yɛmfa sɛ criminal cases accused person wɔ hɔ da bi wɔ hɔ a nka all things being equal ka judge deɛ nkɔ nyare da lawyer ne ne client obiara nyare da yɛmfa sɛ accused person obiara nya prosecution obiara nyare da na nka asɛm no ɛkɔ so da kɔ bɛkɔ court unannounced yɛsɛ judge no ama ɛtumi si anaasɛ ɛtumi nsi da kɔ genuinely na accused person no koraa no ɔyare ebi koraa no wɔ custody o nyɛ sɛ ɔfirifie mpo na ɛba ɔyare yɛamfa no ama court obiara bɛdile asɛm no anaasɛ ndile asɛm no
ɛtumi dile asɛm
ɛgyina the type of yare a ɔyare so sɛ wote aseɛ nti prison officers no bɛbɛde bi abɛka kyɛw sɛ o ne ho ntɔɔ no ebi koraa he or she is on admission ɛdɛ na judge no bɛyɛ ɔbaa agya ne case no nti delays ni bi wɔ hɔ a ɛyɛ meme ne wo yɛ a yɛkɔ court no woyɛ ho hwie nyɛ yie nti deɛ yɛ ho biribi a ɛbɛyɛ yie no ɛno na yɛsɛ ma no ɛda adi you see me wura mu sɛsia na me ne yɛka sɛ metie no nkɔmmɔ no yie a na ɔka sɛ o ka yɛn create units ebi a specialized units nanka within the ages department anaasɛ biribi nanka hwɛ oral cases nko a wura no metwe no adwene asi so sɛ ɛka units create nko a deɛ a mɛma no one example office of the special prosecutor maybe can call for no be say officer mfaso bi ani so ye resource ages for no
how no office of the special prosecutor the person occupying the office na man are useless and I say the law
enye nipa na e wo ho no e dey no mba be prosecutions ya anareboa we prosecutions in free who idea view
but the beginning say the load
no point to
okay all right that's fine
special prosecutor's office by say about 2017 20 about afibe hu
27 yeah 2017 2018
whichever period aba how many cases and successfully on my prosecuting I nunti ye create a no abeboa sorry what the American say
yes
ye mu bi wo ha ye gidi say nipa no a oye ebi a special prosecutor no ye wo no subi wo ages department
okay
nipa ne so wo ho a ebi kwa na suahunu bi na omo ages department no mu ndia uyi training abetum dia ma wo mu a but me afa bi afri ba bi abeka ho na omo niam omo hia omo betum dia ya adwuma no na omo nti na me ka che ne se me ne enya adwene se eye creation of units you see uko e court se here ya Accra law court complex onim economic crimes court or financial court or commercial court or all the courts that are there now onim obi anu make asen bi chiro prosecution no very difficult didn't make asen bi chiro
after that day in the house omo a chiro mo say mo anya collation bi they argue and argue am no the parliament and boss man call parliament say omo ama your collation akal 3 police stations when you can say obra and when we push them to the wall it's almost due to say sana they be ni circulations no amaye we went back to the center to win the elections now anybody who stood on that ground say my quality result, then later admits them in quality here. Commander, are you sure said in the next elections? So see what quality result if Abashanti will you believe?
No.
So Obisha or manage election when you trust or so can you go into that election peaceful?
So let me ask you this question, though it is not part of your discussion, but it's maybe a modern NDC back calling for overhauling of the EC Electoral Commission.
Oh, every elections, every electoral cycle, there always be reforms. The reforms,
we're talking of human resource.
There be reforms every year, but who can manage the reforms? No,
okay,
very important.
Okay.
So a car honor every journey be over here no a service today the way to make you can be. So the reform will come. In fact, they try to do certain things in 2024 elections. We blocked it because timing was wrong timing. Because OBS had I'm affecting that. That is changing the time of elections. At the time now, almost just about 11 months to elections. And reforms there were human reforms, policies now, CIs now. I brought my Ghana elections now because I don't think we'll see somebody who can say my quality result, I want quality result, but he continue arguing say a police in NDC and man into me and declare result for Blekumanov. Finally come to agree say would have been and told me try, but we could do the young for 2 minutes elections, and that was been our stand. It has been our stand right from beginning on the issues, again we far electoral commission now na stage way because quality results even at the constituency. What is the result of the bank now and the police depot? If you one region and another region to come and collect results, we mentioned say IGP that time, the IGP here no and yet IGP gave them that space that time. Circulation no. Like I say, you're right. Now of course I have back to the fraud no. But the every issues the like I say used to trouble yes sir. The friend said you check this area no. Now 11 police station and also they are winning of the elections again.
I see.
The same 11 police station. Commander, 21 electoral area in Akutia. There were 119 polling station. Now 9 police is people. It's in my NPP 5,000 votes.
9 police stations.
3 police stations above 5,000 votes.
And you think it's not possible?
But it is not. In fact, of all the things on my number 5,000 no. Over presidential only 82 votes per no difference. Of all the things on my amount for 2 amount being no. Over presidential the same area no 22 votes per no. Our parliamentary no, because the candidate then was coming from the same community, from that community no, only about 4,000 vote difference. Instead of running a call. Into a NPP campaign, no cause I and a they didn't say anything. You say I can say being too many.
But would you say moving has strengthened the team going forward with the absence of the late Dr. Bawumia?
Oh, God willing, NDC will do it. NDC will do it.
Because I want for GD say the late Dr. Bawumia was holding the magic.
It's all about trust. It's election management is about trust. Election management is about trust. Once the trust is there, you are good to go. And we'll get there. NDC will do it. So in fact, we are not saying say when you were here, but at least we're able to hold in Kutia. In fact, we say our history so as a party in elections management. So you call elections for the first time in the history of Ghana. Say young Twaba but a MP.
Mami Bobbie Ansah, Honorable Divine, and Chroma, Akwaba.
Boko there. Let me do that. Boko. Na titi mu eni mu ye.
Say no, you say ni bi soja. Na me so bi abere say me nya soja. ni brand here abapa aba ene liso we se wishi anu a ne de no se tie ni odi akata na ni no de dam grab on so fiezi ne ya na odi bibi akata so because ni bre ya ni brim so ya ni brim so pa na from to say come to say
oh mami share tie for ene hwefo na member woni production team abaso na minchia menya somadi ekrum de unam kroma bibia eboko na ende me ba no se me de me phone chira osisi a wo se me post flyer no there's one lady bia o tie ye na sure obo teshi honum around the Zango beach with a Sango way.
I see.
Na oba no kaje me say President John Dramani Mahama o delay around man like uti say form hono no unse every day dia yeti nsem bi o na we dey be say nka o sem
no I'm interested I'm interested what do you say mama mo di nkomo afanye ma mo ti okurum
enu na mebe
we have national executive member here.
Oh, say,
you better train out to form.
Dear, everybody say, Uko for more expectations near high. And I always say, if oral fails, a democracy of this country, a failure. There's a GD amount for a binya, about 2 million for so a show munasa. Who's a main bandit? I'm this as a way banner because not nipanity, we don't know about military. And now. O chire musania emebunu no te 1979 81 na almost no be say ade say nipa ni nyina ngu we are getting to the point that say one expose na efa national lotteries ho and they are me mau the act I dey establish the National Lotteries Act na act 722 no there is a portion which is the train okay or see there shall be conducted
but enka my background to the expose here
okay we can be me person me can act to establish lotteries national lotteries ni wie no baby amedeko
let's go
or patch they say sika bi sa national lottery dey set am nyina no there's a portion na essence ye dey ma ehiafo ne for no mo ye focus na mra no dey hye no sa na tifi to come nkruma pen so say essence can be apart from say we are playing to also help you know say bi so ba amount for no but see there shall be conducted as part of the operations of the national lotto a lottery with the object of providing care and protection for the physically and mentally afflicted, the needy and the aged and orphans and destitute children. Now just say you see cannot possibly one more sa from there say yeah they call bomb yamra na samra na ma kwan no na samia oku esha hono no samra na ma no call to me approve so ma approve seska we am me be chiro scan so no this best here the NLA good causes disbursement. So the NLA good causes disbursement no scan the echo one institution Africa Prosperity Network AWH na kodia we amount econo man 250,000 Ghana cedis as part of sponsorship 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 for Kwewu Business Summit 2023 and a sponsorship for Africa's Prosperity Events and Dialogue 2024 oko animu a the same NLA no good causes a year there say here for no or this best say 570,000 titiscano 5.7 billion and the office of Attorney General any ministry of justice adaya or some of the conferences any seminars no good courses ni bi also disburse 350,000 and the mama mi frima office of the chief of staff on fanya there or independence day celebration on fanya hwe senia of the best kama mabro wa frima mabro wa frima ho chibem independence day of come match wo ho also ba samoja bi national good courses
onyani asamoja
onyani mabro wa destitute asamoja enu ne see the memoir project of former black stars asamoah also onyani asamoah also the share no another onyani back or benefit here be black CEO of Black Avenue Music also about 80,000 asamoah do nya 50,000 and D Black nya 80,000 so also no sponsorship for tropical fiesta event onyani back also every day wa unia what you do ha
ejanka bro ko yi do so also atamus yaro wonya ni hwi baba command the saa it also ye hwe mu ayese ejanka bro ko yi do also ba 50,000 also ye see 10 years atamus we no fa paper na nim no no so ye man 50,000 ana that quality so share GB no bro wa Richard Anyagba sure
ono so yesi no chire no ono so ye ma no 40,000 say ono so sponsorship for Dankwa Institute advocacy chat room program na so mo ye Zoom conference Zoom meeting no
on factor data
ono so factor data sa assembly any etero act na establish yourself ama mobrafo no ikofo ya Bobbie sociality me bubo si ni go fa bubo wodi ya ka che lo mu wan no say or destitute ba no so another mental problem
but the point is Samuel could go scot free
adan
say na buy na
we madi oil cost oil
hey sorry I refer of some refi mama ka de yanka
hey can you
the urim o ka you am ka so o ka NBC national executive bio asabi o grand people na okay
anu na mi
sorry me refi me o
na mi yanka NLA previous government
magri ni wala
oh no kasayi
we are depression coming back sir we are ready female
oh that be check it when we are just one part
I withdraw and I retract
when we are just one part of how our NLA lotteries are establishing the motor charts
yeah me see NL adia Samuel kwaye NL no ubia we ne ma
say na make catch us say we do here the audits we no say we no dey here some say me betra say na me boss so na na say e back wo ho e dey ebo sinu ka we ni certified certified results dey ama wa isum ka obi to me challenge o ba bi figure fact and figures audits and ho na usu wo kukuru esika na attorney general seminars ben no ye on nko ahia 570,000 570,000 so the year seminars conferences into attorney general department obu ya NGO as say almost obu ya support as corporate social responsibility from NLA and now me know ka say Bobbie ye were lesser known sports they are underfunded like obu need support system back to say obu church call agencies grab for support obu nya bi me and the Ghana Table Tennis Association when I can tell you how we struggle fast and ma the same way oko badminton obu nya bi lawn tennis nya bi judo shena san perform na choba mo obu nya na wo we de sika o da akọ ma Richard Anyagba so fa ko Zoom meeting o see when
sir Kroma obi adem due to misappropriation da
yes Say misappropriation. Why misappropriating funds are a year for the needy, the destitute, and mentally you are saying omo mental problem no. Omo ni exercise ka we here fa ko bo omo no. We twi say sika no e dey fi honum. E na o say o dey kwakoboa di black. O dey kwakoboa unia kokwedo. Na onyeni
Diana Gabi Otidaku oni tu
Gabi Otidaku etire no ma chese o se o yeni ama na dwin bom danka ne danka bom ti no se ne danka bom dia see a man 250,000 because of
then you have this Samioku boy no abegina kurumu nkrofo wo kire wo mo sometimes yeah na wo hwie no anso akoma mu na obie wa no a because you have kwasiafo we nyina ni party no se be bie na no catch us nkrofo wo kire wo mo ni wa wanya opportunity ankode be boa mo brofo hwe ni ye oye no
all fans we who say persons with disabilities omu wo mu say omu cry so cry for fans omu nya bi. And I hope say sasem we are yet in day yenti biuda ewo ya bokose mu ha
ewo Ghana
baby tio see ye ba be wie ya ye di nkomo ye na aban fufuro be ko aban fufuro be ba after mahama yi ni so be report be pie
ewo Ghana
ha ye bet say ye say emobro wa fusika maybe emobro wa fusika wa kra ni boniti ni di ama Callistos ala se mobro wasika de se de ama very say Julius Debra Bobbie mika ya no mabatwese sa asemwe bisi ewo mamu ase si ese atami sika sa da koma sa afo no ne ese Dr Anyini wowe onu ye mobro wa ni de sika ka koma no we nkoma I'm telling you ye pese beti biu ebi afa no fufo bi wo
but the only way I NTBO is when people are punished today.
Yes,
when people are not punished today, then it will embolden others to do it because in any case, any politician nipa baako. Inti say si ahwemo a yeso ye bibi kwa NPP muba na mosumo akra asem no.
Because
yeah,
Osha Samia Wuku ni posture any senior onunam kromu a obo me ho safo ni na opegi na petina. It's because of Sanyama we more no just why any senior no one misappropriate fans all over the place in Intino. He thinks himself like a champion atta. And Obia can say Obia Bona Chamso. We say all buy some of us are here information ya wo and ya me course all the time when na dey bia buy a kawasa no. Ya body di I don't know who caso a party member no.
Me Sydney me manu na fom ye.
I na me small from a party member.
Yeah, but also twesai.
Me so much twesai. Because otherwise see I mean, say some of the people who are no it's so obvious. Yeah, mom within that. Yeah, come as some that. Obia bomb. Yes, I don't hear day. I'm here day, and yet you see how we odi Nidia. Scale of misappropriate ya, or the comma Attorney General, or comma Gabi Otidaku, or the comma D Black, Echo Chain, and this is just a portion of it too. Where you and the Kakrawemu. If I mention some of the artists, Omunya Scanibia, Masheda Meyer no film.
Can you imagine?
I said that chair ye enele sika ise pa ma mobro afo nkofo na this kan mo bi ani wo mobro ani ewo obi ani wono mu akose na dwimbum or mentally afflicted intino sse man sa support no enti Bobbie me no kasa na me no ba kasa krom die and that's what honum when you talk to a lot of people like what I am feeling na me nya okrom ni centrofo like come nya renewed hope be say like something can change for the better like o mind be to be
things are changing because of maybe except the
OGD wa by no say obi to me execute me say I no kase a commission say me here nationwide tobi for me political party rounds be nyama me be shase but me start here me here exploratory exercise am any go for din komo no utimi say juma no be din why me to say first no
why
as a national organizer
okay
because ugofonu bebre ayo ma say say me kasa no say niama fufuro bi because o manya gidi wa ban we mu too much feeling na high it mini o mu kasa kra to come back I to say who say after 2016 2017 your party ni your challenges bebre you to me anya active but now na your person yen can see kromu no ugofonu bebre no no mu di nkobo I say o mu hwe ma di mu side honum ehwe se no ade no be fa wo ebe se ebe yie se ya ade a ene obi ampre no nko ba bia ene be ma adwuma yedi but ebe ya meti asim adwuma no so de be akoye wo fom honum ne ne nkofo so akakokasa ne ahwe ko ebe fa so ya ebe ma nyama yi but me de yan fa ho ni abaye wo so political party wo so nipa no ya ade ne yi a the fans.
Good. I'll come back to you. But Honorable Madi, so said the enemy can feed Benamunya as national executives. Grounds again their cost of movie feedback Benamunya towards more government. That this is the feedback.
Remember, facts say one of our major campaign message. In fact, Ghanaians voted based more of the votes based on that, and all of us as a party say if it fails, and democracy in say you can go out to talk about anything for Ghanaians to believe in you. So yes, it's quiet this time around. A man for person who say a man for a court in Yama. But one thing that is clear, I can say because of the break now, you will legal vacation. A man for it now friends say Tramadol demonstration. Same way. So you find the people. In fact, if you hear them, it's almost say yabo. But we betche a really a friend saying red carpet in my nante sombra. That's what they are telling us. Because if you hear yes, if you heard Salama, was it a man banajo? It means from Numbra, which means I'm a bokrono. Almost 2 pounds a bokrono. But send it your mona ego munas in Tieva, young red carpet, no more namusum suit. That is what they are asking for. But say and they agree, say, and like what is happening today, offer report now about from the notaries in there. It tells you why you see many people fronting the Tramodo campaign or demonstration. I know we'll get to this point. I know we'll get to this point of the notaries, but it's the guidance principle they say. Senator David Divine Canon. It shouldn't repeat, and it will not repeat. But say a beja will be said because somebody knows him there, commander. Trust me, it will not happen. And the men have to say, oh wait, because Divine Canon say NDC and boss me Okudinda. Yes, I know. But what was it here? Say Naba. Oh, Abba. In fact, everybody so no sponsor will come ask them, and you deal with those issues. Once they are out for us, say way INC, nobody is going to go scot free. In fact, that is why one of the issues I got for me be who confirm out this
so they tell you guys.
Well, I'm a focus also that be way some man find messages on your maybe side issue with you. In fact, people don't even believe you say there were this legal vacation. I'm for say be a no be behind so. But what do? Say no a major thing that Ghanaians will ask, but all other things I can answer. People know that we are performing on that one, but the kind of resources, kind of sika amount for someone we told Ghanaians say amount for you sika now we deal with them no. In fact, then even challenge us. Say anytime you come to government, you will be a NPP because I don't know can care but you but this time around, we trust me, all will be dealt. People will be dealt with. I mean, don't take it for granted. And say, oh, be a while we're untouchable. Maybe anybody who will follow him say, oh, we a minipa, oh, baby, we'll give me a common.
Really?
I'm telling you, you see, work 2028 elections, I start you, and it is the party that will go for elections in 2028. When the party is going to the elections, you need to tell a story. Sorry, Ben Obeka. Now, all runs I want to go over Ben Obeka. Say, meet me away, cathedral me, see. lotteries issue by no me dealing in see. When to know then nobody will trust you again.
Madi, Minka, Uni Gatia Assembly, Ayakanano. Who was the last week, Wednesday, was exactly 3 months. Kenufureta, a surgery in the year. The letter not show and also say, after 3 months, no, Obenu available. Uni send then that we. Yan can could Kenufureta them. Would you ever say legal vacation crowd? If I want to remember, and cash each day, you. Kenufureta surgery. Ya na ya na see dey saka wa boys yi ni boys yi ya transfers ni yi ni ya exchange bi anim ene ja kan ofura ta ya kan asem.
I agree with you, but you see me, that's why I've never believed say issues, critical issues go through OSP.
Critical issues
you don't say wait, issue of kind of writer nanka it's going through Attorney General. That's the story will not be the same.
Why?
I'm telling you, it will not be the same. It would have been the same. So I can tell you now, if final yes have prosecution chase away now, it will not be the same. I mean, right from the beginning, me as OSP issue started on kind of writer issue. I mentioned say these things will have these challenges. So me anytime I issue beyond, I pray it shouldn't go into the hands of the OSP. So that it can be dealt with the way it must be dealt with. Let's have an issue that Attorney General be dealing with the issue with Kenufureta, whether he can be there to tell these stories. What he has here, whether he can be there to tell these stories. He can be there to tell these stories. But like games, for me, I see OSP issues most of the times. For me, any issue I give for stories. But issues are about Attorney General. Say national service issues we define. I'm for them. Say national service issues we define. I'm for them.
Metiasio, Bama de Mibisao. Who can OSP? No OSP no is an arm of government to swear in Juma. See ya waji case or the name change ya go over the bar ya get here. Ghanaians are interested because personality na ye can one send Kenufureta no. Onye brodia amugaze brodia a hoju say onye ordinary person case ni so ordinary issue. A big issue. It no say anything say nja a honey man no for that one.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying say. At issues that say Attorney General pick from the same person angle will be different. Angle will be different. In fact, anytime so once you are going to go into that OSP issues, okay, or many issues are different. So for me, let's see after the vacation, then Ghanaians will see that promise na Ghana for say we'll fight these corruption issues. So overall issues we'll deal with it. But what many Ghanaians will ask say if you can say obi when we hear the scar say maybe TB. So TB na acquire there no. But that's what Ghanaians are now looking at it. But I believe that once we have taken this say where and ever fighting all the cases now you're raising from cathedral issues we know that Ghanaians will hold us on that one. I will not come and tell a story, a different story, say, oh, you're in a case when be anymore. I trust my friends, Attorney General, because the promise of the man is I will not rush to court so that I will fail on issues. I will not. So issues are raising we know by next year the campaign the system it will be because that's what NPP will start doing next year. Yeah, that's what they start doing. That's why they are now want to have their candidates early enough so that they will start telling you say then now people that you are chasing them, they will now looking for taking positions of party. When they start looking at position of party, look at say party and that is why politically our government shouldn't fail us from the next month. October start saying vacation
story want to be compare national chairman.
Before I want to give I'm from next 2026 by that time the men can say minimum say ruling but by that time they miss already job. Obayojo. They say I want for them. And it is that what is our message. In fact, 2028 message in there. You bet matches the region where I told them. That's the because one is an open for me, that is why we have been in government before 2016. They all say yes, Ghanaians say what you may born some but we went and lost the election by 800,000 votes.
Yes.
So you see, it is what Ghanaians want. And I say, mom.
It's not about what
you want. So rules, you only rules. I will say about schools, only say about but say will be a for Sika, what did you or Kruma, or Jino? And no, Commander, that is what is going to happen from October. And I'm telling you to work. It will work and work well.
You be a national executive, you are doing come on.
No, I didn't say,
广交天下生意，连连助您全球展业。外贸收款周期长，手续多，汇损大，用连连，支持欧美等全球28大币种收付，24小时服务，收款快是实时到账。用连连，无论你在做拉美、非洲还是东南亚，多种本地币通通直接收。用连连，海内外双边持牌更合规。注册立享5万免费额度，外贸收款就选连连。
Friends in the other side, but party government is bigger than the friendship. So, we still should be over, and I say we be the who say, commander, once I will define issue with my proposal. Then you do that one. Remember people who have died on the streets. Oh yeah, because that
national executives won't discuss that issue.
I'm saying that those are the things that we know. Say that to fight that the issue.
So which means you know some of NBC before or more negotiating on behalf of the
negotiating.
No, but Fifi Kwete said that with time the national executives will start mentioning names.
You know when it happens and somebody is since a while, nobody will shade you on this one. That one.
But Fifi says it's an ongoing action.
You know, it's a process that you can say among for say things people are not speaking in their institution. People are feeling and that one say obia to be on institution story. And I'm saying things are ongoing. In fact, recently we now obia nimse na Quebec Maslock issue until recently friends Maslock CEO Rebecca to me issues any call for issues. Things are now coming. Any issues it will not tell you say the person who is now there now getting a grip of the issues, so these things can come out now. So it is a gradual. Yes, the expectation is higher. Expectation we agree say higher based on even minimum amount for pay or amount for what you have to deliver. The expectation is higher. But we are managing that expectation, but we are promising say yeah, failing people on based on expectation amount for a also. That one the year expectation is the great that is why I mean even our opponent issue 8 years compare 9 months that 8 months that you know. So say performance we're supposed to do more than what we are doing. Commander, because really say expectation are higher, but you also have to manage it and get it right.
Sure.
When you compare now, because your information, your person, no compare, you fail, you get it wrong. Especially a country where a bit news a constitution can say you everywhere, but still the person go to every ECOWAS and constitution ECOWAS, church mu say a dear kind of constitution no, yes and much. A country where lawyers always will find a loopholes in your case. Anytime, that's a problem in this country. Anytime they will be able, in fact, I did hear about LLO. We went to a shop of Fakacha say, about shop of 4 more guys say, when crap on a quantity. And in turn, I know no chief in the country is cast over the India. I want to go. I want friends, JBC. The only minimum says, if now, we not talk chief.
Yeah,
I love you, Jesus.
Because
the enemy says, but you see, I think that I agree with anybody who will call it for say we should do something radical in fighting corruption. Because it's the only way I able to me and my democracy now. In fact, people calling before this time what brought in revolution is because of 50,000 bill, 50,000, 5,000. So that's getting way an amount for people who hang on this firing squad to be shut down. They let the blood flow. And you might say, so our neighboring countries, militaries are taking over because of those promise we are not able to fulfill. Oral is a key issue. We believe and we work on it. For oral, we work on it.
My memory back to divine, but divine as much as you say, oral NDC are buying a bayer Jumano. Now the opposition has started with street games, where now they are telling people say, "Me this can cry so name." In Jaffe they say they and they talked about freedom of speech. It's after the only for family the kasa ewu because Kufado never arrested anybody. Ewo ekroma say, but the course for the last 9 months the nega be we beka una onawo madikaye. So even with some of us here krana monye birthday party kakra na mumfa flowers kakra na some se bi kra mo benya limousine bia na so de be fam me kronfu free kwa enye bad we di me police station wa maybe almost sa police station nke bia Kempiski na ya jibe bia ma na wada come on esanye bu oman na omo time no mu chinipa sa ya mu de no ko omanfo na nko Novotel and de no ko Kempiski Chicken Republic we that one year do omo tena omo ntiase so omo no adai why. So this is the reality. When you say these actions from the opposition can push the NDC to look well.
Who say politics and strategies woman and obia so play game be. Who say the kind sa demonstrations and agitations ya omo yewe na it's part of their game. Say when tintin no anya kokodra you might think say omo case and omo Kenya assembly and the reason why are they necessary for them as a political party to embark on these demonstrations agitations is person omo hype up excitement interest no e wo base ho
just to ginger the base
because you see no when you say almost parking almost call it the little opportunity almost benya no almost per se almost find the bina go for say party ni wo but so share endra o dey share go for interview omo almost omo demonstration no ordinarily on a normal day you won't consider them say omo party people and ankofo even if they are proper like omo party stalwarts that's one the caliber of people you want to use to organize demonstrations. She so be demonstration by or so no or on more on bisa so mo come so mo mbra o mo kwa o be do on more e dey ada show mo so bundi e che o mo nim de ntia another guy so buy o se trama boy ide trama do boy ide do it no o ba be di e because e se o mbra and this NPP for youth yes so called I always they say I mean you so called NPP youth demonstration because it is not NPP youth. A youth for Bawumia demonstration and a come quiet.
I see.
A Bawumia youth for no and no more mano up the upper conduct research is here. You observe say other camps for no belonging to Ken, Brian, any Educhu need a count. None of them care about demonstration. Me and then were angel. Paul Grave. Yeah, the topic is two or 5 different topics. Crab a planasha and incense over pencil. No, we see the time cry. It's a papa or no. It's when we see the time and I'm all over. because the cracks now so wide name wire tight and also no only said demonstration they didn't involve any ex and now obia or yeah like considered anti-Bawumia camp. How? Odiopa obia ni ono mo a only Bawumia or supporting Bawumia you inviting na you involving no. Really? Oh, Bobbie, 7-7 na match this year.
So you want to win that Nana B, FM Miracles, Salam,
Bawumia boys. Bawumia boys. It's almost because demonstration na some the meeting no mo ko Bawumia office the fear no mo your first meeting about yenti obia yen ehunehuna yusrehunehuna no ehon no mo ko your first meeting no it's Dr Bawumia also the sponsor the chief sponsor.
Oh, I see.
Because I'm feeling say the biggest beneficiary of such things because dole no really pa on better than she say on that all cost. Sure, Bobbie, you come and you say wrong. Demonstrations ni nyama bebre a omo ye no me say me ye pipini ana me ye consultant na me to omo fa. E ka make chom say some of the things one mo a omo hold the on na omo fix it omo internal issues ni bebre o no no address core issues or party no because some of the things are advocating in some kano you can clearly tell say these are not group of honest people you want to have as leaders of this country. See, they are disingenuous, dishonest and like corrupt as individuals and come boom because some of the arguments they have no shame. You say the most difficult person to ever deal with and I said the most wicked person to ever deal with is somebody or your bonia only no one as only shame. Say what do bonia we na only no asaso ba sani pano dangerous say obi and some NPP for we mama kwakoye what dey bisa who say team dem no dey to demonstration no mo koye ne so
you sure
ehunehuna adentia you see President John Dramani Mahama person can't for Kasaboa and for Shomu on person omo be kasa freedom of speech you know or on person be ejuma Bobbie since when now mo coming to that realization say obi person on track to be fan who dey so then pa na sia enu nti obodo government bia emu bia eni wono mo Abai Issue Attorney General through even the police service to try to injunct demonstration there. Now there was one police service Attorney General yes. This should tell you the kind of mindset Abai no ekita say a person won't allow. Who do you say see a demonstration? Your competition the office of the president. You can't say
for the time.
You catch that say how many security zone they didn't allow us to get close to even TV3 veterans association for office one now immigration last stop petition freedom of speech who did say demonstration office of the president obi aba no yeba ni aba beje obo petition yebeje omo krata omo asemo soko omo obi omo ka
wo mo duro wonna se mama omo duro no maka cho mo so mo nso no
imagine
eke biane wo ma sro mo so mo ntini bra
we mu nyina ye wa ha na asasem we nyina na akokoko so Moses still mo be catch na say obi person ka Kasaboa show you unim say your interview the national officers for nyina about in someone specific commenter some of their members no enu hunti no ye teach omo tumu say do they stand by those commentaries omo nyina none of them to me nyina ni say osaide with abronye ana say e very say Bawumia AD
oh really
none omo nyina say omo was one gentleman in boy bisa me say iti asam na abronye no ekaye no oni ni adwea na osi dabi osi can you mention in some of cause I can't repeat. They agree say it's something be one mu a enye sem papa ti o uni say of no speech bi abetu bi aka cho say Bobbie wa ko bata career wo say ndey die enye me fe wani mu kura enye me fe enu no de waka wadwen wa kire ya bom but to me inclination wa anum se sie but to say Bobbie upon show ya me mani bi fie enu no some freedom of speech dey to be guarantee after the show.
Yeah.
To me kasa be say nsem hu bia keke no afa hu adi to the extent say obi say obechi President John Dramani Mahama no ache ne yere owi a odomu ofu be se Ghana must go mu na such a person commenting bia wetin minti na okwa demonstration say SSS ani pa ko de jan no nanti demonstration no mu ye it was a useless demonstration. Sabi players how we nyasa pa we see when the GN this demonstration we yachi because how Bobbie me no one now for your principles me no tell Bobbie so me ti wa say mo baby a bonia at worst I can do to you is my silence. So me to be defend I mean counsel but sabi who ko din say mu so a me now ko je say wa etimi bo maya me di wachi for it to say Bobbie madam for me na namunti no sabi asem akokwa ne bo maya na ma sorry asem di nachi e na cha na makopa se mo nyensa na fa chi mo na kopa chew me magina ni mutin 3 years sabi you Bobbie asem no kan ojimi kwa pa so that's asem baby
but which is in all sincerity no dey yes ade no na say okay so let's see if the Ibenya re-election and answer challenge you have your say be no more bad chi ya base na sorry ayi dede I mean
we na ka ho you can you na yi ba ko film one base two omo angasa mu dey protect omo angasa mo ho na agenda na omo pese omo pese omo shaky grounds no but we na no emfa isi a wonu Ghana for ne kasa obatwe na ba beda ho no to win play game we it told him say many of the questions are back to the fore na here discuss this year no and the politicians they raise you and the ordinary Ghanaians and they raising some no see I know I make Nikodi gobe e was land down na me te ho di who say omo your demonstration there was one lady young girl ochuchibo mo gobe no ono rubo ni mo no bi de bae no see some say before office be her side no bi de bae no see na mahama kura no ha dwen na okwa bibi kakra bia me see senya lady no ochuchibo mu no tete ma no 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 e shock me say lady no kura bo wudi osi Bobbie ono nye obi ba akura no osi Bobbie no onye obi ba den no ye eche ya bro nye dia o to be tea ni kotu mu a eru no obi akọ demonstration onu po no ka tell me say ayi abranti o ayi XYZ
onyewa
ya ko chi ni tu mu obi anka na say utie bombo ideas a o se be chi ni 12 am no omo bro no posa na hwewa o de go down to last minute nipa oti ya pass what kwai was say fast so tum ye ko jani si Shy Hills kwai so awumache ine ko jani si ho no
now modern day Ghana ka de kanda pa ma omo the shops shock me hwa
yes all these things have happened in this country see obi akotwe obi akohyetai obi akoye hwe na mo anwa di boni say amu kanko focus about show mu yam mu person obi be kasa bi see who the number of times share ma one example
yeah
Dr Indu time our banking crisis is starting say be who say at every point bia obes or your person on your press conference be and say on your official statement be to state the position of the bank any am akoso no aban we ba be yan to shaka change so anything every time it told him they use the state institutions against him.
I see.
If you remember between 2021 2022 ending none of us was speaking on radio. Yes, because
I remember
the boss had to give instructions say opaye chew yentwa kasa no so na enye sa akwa da na do me kunu kra. That's the extent they went. It took
but in that situation, yeah, no again we do now.
Aha. So let me also tell you, come for so me now. All set you businesses are you operating you know. Operating under regulatory agencies. So the day over that, imagine say we agent papa no. Imagine say we a dro and we are Janu Wajuma. Who on the one here you sue FDA. Na the FDA no about so say FDA aba ransaki one number for samples. Na no suspect BBT o. Almost suspect BB. Omo we normal the statement about so statement to come for being post one but sir scenario no mo ye keke no
Gu adwuma no.
Now call was you ya ba on ya TBB it's the call hono asa it will finish you
Ogu adwuma
wo hono mo a ebia wo pensions company wo hono mo anya akagofa National Commission for aba yes you they want to meet you because they meet you on Bobbie committee ya hono mo na issue statement say hold on you see am license crown holding on for some time so yeah consider yeah finish you. And that is what they try to do. So we are amono. Nipa no seeking for court you know yes in kasa because when you say the fair judgment between when you say in all the cases between the bank owners government no the owners no but in the case of him when you say government never took him he rather took government. That's what people don't know. Or no they are by call. But say
for them the no okay, but with Indian
onu le dey abai call ye because abai ni basis on the who say fair judgment die beba ye be ko 2020 elections after 2024 November and a judgment SSA ba and abai and attorney general e ko try say fa de no embra ADR what is so be so ye fa say embra ADR what you say na it means that the next moment I bet you 3 years after and you could this common view judgment never if judgment no to say who really told I can clearly tell the person I can mention 2 people I'm offense extra that you know it was written in the bread papa say all these things have happened I am gagging for freedom. Yes, men kasa nyina yet your mem has say yen kasa na e beta ye beda be sori a momo salam eni nana bi mu ese mwanya vim samo mo bakrum because momo treating yen say aso obabufuo mo ye ba mo hono mu a mo ye te say ye very saying mo treating yen te say special people it also see a man with the same medicine na mo de ma any bi aso mo treatment am de man ko for o man ha say we remember obi atumi kasa me to meet me SME make please stop please stop because at the end of the day no one kasa and as o kasa ebro so a ye be impact no ko another angle yen kasa me ye choma mu hase na mo so ya musi ene obi me mun kan kire ya de amahama pa waye
when say Mensa Thompson arrest no it was just a simple instructions from Nana B on his Facebook page.
Imagine.
Yes. Nana B,
imagine.
We issue just a simple instruction to Dampare say by a number 4 and so I'm picking Mensa Thompson and par 4:30 and then we call some picking Mensa Thompson. I'm going to call no and I'm going to call South Police Station. Yeah, I'm ready to be referee. No
Cantonment.
David.
Usiafo ahanom ya number 1 authentic platform ugusua ohwe Mega TV yadi kan aka kire mo and debia Mega mekasa asenwe MPP for you be a sebi omudwene Ghana ho a enka ade ba kope na ombeye manya breaking news bi maminti nsema Dominic Ayine nso ade atodwa na mewia metwa ensem so ade ama we special brief on Kinufurata the trial or say we breaking news what I say by nche ya no paya ne buy Ken lawyers called me to assure them that when he returned to Ghana he would get a fair trial. Debut minyanti headline asi or say Ken lawyers Ken Ufurata lawyers called me to assure them that when he returned to Ghana he would get a fair trial. AG C Akurutinga Ayine Dominic Ayine awoye Attorney General C Kinufurata ne lawyers afreno na fra o mo afreno na lawyer ba ko odimu tintima ye freno lawyer Frank Davis what I say lawyer Frank Davis and okasa wo join news na o kiremu a freno o mo afreno na no obisa Attorney General ne se Kinufurata bagana o assure mo so benya fair trial we yasem na kuromwa when case na yedi yama no fair trial mama kan asem nchiro she say Kinufurata lawyers no mo hu say tibia no Kinufurata will come to Ghana. Mama read the headline kakra nsem no ewom kakra say speaking on news file on Joy News on Saturday January 10th that is enroll 2026 Dr. Ayine said former US Attorney General John Ashcroft, part of Kinufurata's legal team, former UN Attorney General, really contacted him to ensure that the former minister would receive a fair trial if returned to Ghana. John Ashcroft called me and said he was representing Kinufurata, but his concern was to ensure that when Ken is returned to Ghana, he will get a fair trial. I will assure him that under this government and in accordance with Article 19 of the Constitution, his right to a fair trial is guaranteed. Way and some age secure, you see, he will be accorded due process of law. Dominic Ayine disclosed. He added that two other lawyers were also part of the discussion, which was confidential at the time. I spoke with John Ashcroft, including the lawyer who granted the interview, Enayat Kasimi, that is Afghanistan lawyer, Afghanistan. No. There were three of them on Zoom expressing concern. At that time, it was confidential. I could not mention John Ashcroft as his lawyer. He said Dominic Ayine clarified why he had described the legal team as top, a comment that drew some public attention. I was simply saying that with these top lawyers defending him in the US, it is not going to be a day work to bring him home, he explained. Abuja Nsemo Kanyina say one of former UN Attorney General the legal team omo represent Kinufurata, the lawyers no. Ofre no a onkoti ya osian Kinufurata se nyame na dom na se Ghana fo nyame edi ehu fofi na se Kinufurata bipie mu o mai konkoro Ghana mu a obenya perepere ye obenya atemu a eda na akwan so atemu a sebi enkoye se yabu ntanchia question we yebisa former UN Attorney General lawyer mu question we yebisa ade Ghana ha no ye mfamra na ye adwuma se nipa na ya de papa ade ntia womba na o me prove ni self on guilty and I say o me prove no innocency Now utina baby trailer ma attorney general ubisa attorney general so ubisa ne se an oba obenya fair trial ayese wadi boni na wadwina kwese obi fie ena obi ba na wafre na bisa so misa ma me so oba obebona o misa ma me hwe sa de ebi ato me pen se kona ko bisa me papa we se me ba obebomia. This is ambiguity. This is ambiguous question. This is garbages. This is garbages. In fact, this question couldn't have been asked. I don't know who says our question anyway. You attorney general mu who says our question way. Many panembra na the process no shasi a ono ankasa the papa waye and e dine be man fair trial. Anya attorney general no na o pa che se nipa no ba ne wadi Ghana sika still na yinja no say fair trial. What is fair trial? I was there onima se oni asenka enti se na make kind first no NPP for no there omo they think say they are in different planets and probably ebe affect omo if they didn't take care. Probably it will affect them if they didn't take care, because she say instead of them to face their home, instead of them to make sure say omo accountability be akoso within themselves. And now what is a Brian air fire? What is a Brian Kennedy Japan a fire? Almost score so rather they want to contest an election. Why not say benefit now best sorry say because it within Monanka San Mumu fee. So what do you want to tell Ghanaians? Say Mona Mumu fee nuclear family ninya or extended family. Can you come them together? Can you bring them together? Can you settle their disputes? The differences between them, can you set it? I am asking NPP people, I am asking them, can you set their differences? No, you can't. Of course, you have a dispute in your family. You want to leave that dispute and go to settle somebody's dispute. This is common sense. Common sense must tell you that you have to settle your own before you come. In Ghana, we have a lot of problems. NPP for they came to spend over 8 good years. But still, they want to rule this country. And then, NPP, Ghana, mam, Kwame Nkrumah de Ghana to Mumamwana. Kwame Nkrumah de Ghana to Honum Emamu. I did Kwame Nkrumah, yes, a mumunu. Naposora Kwame Nkrumah no. Mumunu. Enti anyanwa wate. Enti the most serious note no message also document betum na wa like it mo di no ahye na bibi etu akoso wa no akopon ka edi ameje so a mega you so the best of news makro bibi bye bye.